hello there. How are you? Good. I'm great, thank you. I was just having a little read of my book. This one. This is Meet Me at the Museum by Anne Youngson, and I'm enjoying it very much, thank you. So how may I help you today? Okay, so you're looking just for some books? Yeah? Okay, have you been here before? You have? So you know everything that we've got? It is a very big library, yes. Well, if you like, I could show you some of the books I have here with me, and perhaps you might find one that you like. Yeah? Only if you have the time. Okay, well, if you decide you don't like any of these, then you can always have a little wander for yourself. Yeah. Okay. Well, should we start off with this one that I have? I could read you the blurb if you like. Yeah? Okay. So I've only just started this one, but it seems like it's really cute and sweet. So yeah, I'll read you the back. Oh, please, make yourself comfortable. Of course. Okay. When Tina Hopgood, housewife and mother, writes a letter of regret to a man she has never met, she doesn't expect a reply. When Anders Larsen, a lonely museum curator, answers it, neither does he. Tina and Anders are searching for something they just don't know it yet. As they bare their souls to each other, stories of joy, anguish, and discovery pour out of them. Suddenly, Tina stops writing, and Anders is thrown into despair. Can their unexpected friendship survive? In this deep and luminous novel of self-discovery and second chances, Anne Youngson polishes the everyday until it gleams. So this was actually shortlisted for the Costa First Novel Award, and I have the impression that Anders is going to ask Tina, meet me at the museum, and that's when she doesn't reply, but that's what I'm thinking so far. It is quite a small book, so it would be a really easy read. Yeah, what do you think? It does seem different, doesn't it? Well, we do have lots more of these. Yes, we have many copies of every book. Okay, should we move on to another book? Yeah? Let me put that book there. Okay, so the next book we've got here is actually a fairly new hardback that we have received. This is the Thursday Murder Club. Okay, and this is by Richard Osman. Richard Osman. And this book has got extremely high reviews. It is relatively new. It's so pretty inside. I like this book. I think this was a 2020 book. Yes, this was last year's 2020. I'll read you a little bit of the back. Four unlikely friends, a shocking murder. Welcome to the Thursday Murder Club. Now, there is some more on the inside, so I'll read you this. A warm, wise and witty warning never to underestimate the elderly. In a peaceful retirement village, four unlikely friends meet up once a week to investigate unsolved murders. But when a brutal killing takes place on their very doorstep, the Thursday Murder Club find themselves in the middle of their first live case. Elizabeth, Joyce, Abraham, and Ron might be pushing 80, but they still have a few tricks up their sleeves. Can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? So this actually seems just really interesting. What do you think? Yeah, it does seem, I think the twist of like it's an elderly club, I think that just makes it even more, I don't know, just, yeah, exactly. Would you like me to read you a page? I can read the first page to you if you like. Yeah. So this is in the perspective of Joyce. Well, let's start with Elizabeth, shall we? And see where that gets us. I knew who she was, of course. Everybody here knows Elizabeth. She has one of 3-bed flats in Larkin Court. It's the one on the corner with the decking. Also, I was once on a quiz team with Stephen, who, for a number of reasons, is Elizabeth's third husband. I was at lunch, this is 2 or 3 months ago, and it must have been a Monday because it was shepherd's pie. Elizabeth said she could see that I was eating but wanted to ask me a question about knife wounds, if it wasn't inconvenient. I said not at all, of course, please, or words to that effect. I won't always remember everything exactly. I might as well tell you that now. So she opened a manila folder and I saw some typed sheets and the edges of what looked like old photographs. Then she was straight into it. Elizabeth asked me to imagine that a girl had been stabbed with a knife. I asked what sort of knife she had been stabbed with, and Elizabeth said probably just a normal kitchen knife, John Lewis. She didn't say that, but that was what I pictured. Then she asked me to imagine this girl had been stabbed 3 or 4 times just under the breastbone. In and out, very nasty, but without severing an artery. She was fairly quiet about the whole thing because people were eating and she does have some boundaries. Oh my goodness, this just seems so interesting already. I mean, it seems a little bit gory perhaps, but I think that's a very good first page. I usually, which is probably something I shouldn't do working here, but I normally judge books based on the first couple of pages. If I'm immediately like dragged in, like I want to read more, I want to know what they're thinking, I want to know the story behind this, why is Elizabeth into this sort of thing. So this book I think is going to be really good. What do you think of this one? Yeah, you think the same? Is there something you would like to... Okay, sure, I can put this on the other side, and then perhaps if you do decide to take it, you can. Alright, great, okay. Okay, so the next 3 books that I have here next to me are all by the same author, and these are children's books or young adult books. These are actually quite nice books to read if you just want an easy read with a few illustrations, and they can be quite quick, even though they're quite chunky books. These are quite good books to read, especially, just before bed or just if you just want to give it a little read. So this is Michael Morpurgo, Pinocchio by Pinocchio, and I believe this is a relatively new-ish book. It's out in 2013, which is actually relatively new for Michael Morpurgo. So I'll give you a little read of the back. My name is Pinocchio. I reckoned I must be just about the most famous puppet in the world has ever known. But I'm more than just bits of wood and string. I'm me, so it's about time that I, Pinocchio, told you my story. So this is literally a story, I guess, from the perspective of Pinocchio. But as you can see, the illustrations are just really nice. These Michael Morpurgo's books are just really lovely books. Yeah. I will give you a little read. So this is like the first page. As you can see, they are quite easy books. Not every page has an illustration, but these are quite easy, but they're also quite big books. So yeah, they're quite nice to read. So this is, let's read the chapter 1, I Get Born. So I'll read you this one. So here's how I began. I was a tiny cherry pip in a blackbird's beak. The blackbird dropped me in an orchard below, in a town called Naples, and I fell to earth. After a while, I grew into a fine cherry tree, blossoming wonderfully every year until one winter's day a raging storm blew over me, and the next thing I know, I am nothing but a piece of wood, a branch in a pile of other branches waiting to be burnt. And that would have been that there would have been no Pinocchio. But, as luck would have it, along came an old wood carver. He was whistling away as he searched through the pile and talking to himself. He picked me up, turned me this way and that, peered at me, smelled me even. This will do very well, he said. Cherry wood, the best for carving, that's what I've been looking for. He looked about him nervously. No one's around, no one will notice, will they? He tapped me with his knuckle, knocked me against a tree. Yes, you'll carve perfectly. That was when I spoke my first words. I'd heard a lot of speaking in my life, so words came easily. I just never needed them before. Excuse me, I said, but I do wish you wouldn't keep knocking me about like that. It hurts, and carving me up I'm sure will hurt a great deal more. I don't like the sound of that one bit. He heard me. I know that because in his surprise he dropped me on his foot, and when he'd stopped hopping about, he began to search around, wondering where on earth the voice had come from. Anyway, you can't just steal me, I went on. All right, he said, clapping his hands to his ears. I will pay. Here, look, I'm leaving a coin for you on the woodpile. So this, of course, these books are, young adult, children books. There is an element of humour to these books. They are really easy to read. As you saw, I just read 3 pages. So yeah, this is Pinocchio by Pinocchio. What do you think? It's not your kind of book? No worries, that's absolutely fine. I will of course leave it in this pile. Should you come back and decide, that's absolutely fine. So like I mentioned, the next 2 are still going to be Michael Morpurgo's books, but this might be different and you might enjoy this one. So this is Born to Run. Born to Run, Born to Run. Again, this one doesn't have as many illustrations in, but the writing is much bigger. Yeah, Michael Morpurgo's books are just beautiful. Like, I literally love these books. I'll give you a little read of the back of this one, but because you didn't like the other one, or perhaps it's not your style, or you want something a bit more challenging, that's fine. Let's have a little read. There was something inside the bag, squeaking and squealing in terror. Patrick didn't think about it. He leaped into the canal. For best mate, being rescued is the only start of his adventures. From unwanted burden to favourite companion, and from pet to champion race dog, this remarkable greyhound proves that it is not just cats who have more than one life. Cast aside, kidnapped, or living rough on the streets, Best Mate can always find a way to survive, but will he ever find a real home? So this is obviously about the dog here, and it says, born to run the many lives of one incredible dog. What I really like about these types of books is that they are always so, like, the stories are just great. Like, you wouldn't get these stories anywhere else, sort of thing. But I'm guessing you would prefer something a little more challenging at the moment. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I will leave all the books here anyway, for a little while longer, so that once you've had a look around and you decide, you do or you don't want the books, I'll do that before I put them away. I'll let you come back if you want to. So the next book again is a Michael Morpurgo book. I think someone might have taken out a few. So this next Michael Morpurgo book is called An Elephant in the Garden. And this one is set around wartime. A majority of Michael Morpurgo's books are set during wartime, but they are really beautiful stories, beautiful books. I'll read you this one, even though I'm not sure if this is something you'd like. Germany, 1945. Elizabeth, Curly, and their mother are in Dresden when the Allied bombs began to fall. Their home destroyed, they must flee the ruined city through the perilous, snow-covered landscape, all the while avoiding the Russian troops who are drawing even closer. It would be hard enough to do without an elephant to look after. So these books are almost, they're very educational. They have like a lot of themes they address. That's what's really good about these books. While educating about the war, there's also a twist for children, like to look after an elephant. So yeah, I really like these books. I think they're great books. As you can see in this book, the writing style is slightly different and there are illustrations as well. But what's good is that these books are, relatively good storybooks. But yeah, they're just much manageable to read. I'm guessing that's not gonna be what you're looking for at the moment. But that's fine, at least you know that's something that we have to offer. Yeah. So I've got a few more books left here that I can go through with you. So the next one that I've got here is actually a play. It's a play. It's written like a play format, and this is Constellations by Nick Payne. This is fantastic. The way this is written is just amazing, absolutely amazing, and yeah, I just love this. This is one of my favourite plays ever. It's about quantum physics and the idea of that, the quantum realm, and that there's like multiple parallel universes, and it's the idea of that, like, a particular scenario here, there's a different outcome somewhere else. It really is such a great story, book, play. So remind me something you're after. Yeah. Well, I'll read the back for you. So it says, one relationship, infinite possibilities. Let's go for a drink. I don't know what I'm doing here anyway. One drink, and if you never want to see me again, You never have to see me again. Nick Payne's Constellations is a play about free will and friendship. It's about quantum multiverse theory, love, and honey. The way this is written is that their scenes kind of repeat themselves, but there's a different outcome, and sort of these different outcomes have a story within themselves. So there might be 8 different scenarios for one scene, but each of those 8 all has a different story and a different ending, sort of thing. It is a really good book, but I don't know if it's something that you're looking for. I don't know if you're looking for more of a book to read. These can be quite complicated. How do you feel about plays, reading plays? Okay. Well, that's fine. No worries. Okay. Now, I have got a few more books here, okay? But I think it's probably going to be best for you to have a little wander at your own pace and just come back when you're ready. Yeah. So the next book that we have is Normal People by Sally Rooney. And this is a relatively new book. I think it's a romance book. This book was actually out in 2018, so it's not as new as I thought. But it's had great reviews, and a lot of people seem to really enjoy this one. So this is Sally Rooney's Normal People. It says the best novel published this year, a future classic, quite astonishing, the most enjoyable novel of the year. I'll read you the blurb, okay? Connell and Marianne grow up in the same small town in the west of Ireland, but the similarities end there. In school, Connell is popular and well liked, while Marianne is a loner. But when the two strike up a conversation, awkward but electrifying, something life-changing begins. Normal People is a story of mutual fascination, friendship, and love. It takes us from their first conversation to the years beyond, in the company of 2 people who try to stay apart, but find they can't. So this is obviously a romance book. I think this book will be really like a charming and happy book to read. The majority of books that are about friendship are really nice books to read. So is this something perhaps that you're looking for? You are looking for like a nice, yeah. Okay, that's fine. You know, this might not be something that you like, but you can always have a look at it in your own time. Take a seat, have a little look, read the first couple of pages, see if this is something that you want to continue. I really recommend doing that when you're looking for a book. If you can actually see the book physically like this, and you're uncertain whether or not to give it a read the first page, read 2 pages, 3 pages, and see if it's something that you like. Wow, I want to read more. Like the Thursday Murder Club, I've just read that for the first time, and I'm like, wow, I need to read this now, because it's so interesting and it's something that I think I'm gonna like. You know, we all have different preferences, and yeah, I just think it's definitely worth reading a couple of pages before you take out books. I wouldn't want you to read it, you know, a quarter of the way through and then realise it's not for you, because there's nothing worse when that happens. Okay, well, I'll pop it in the pile here. Like I said, you can come back at any time, pick up these books, that's okay. Do you want me to show you a couple more books, or would you prefer to have a little look around and come back when you're ready if you've got any books to take out? You want me to show you a couple more? Okay, I can do that. I've got 3 more here anyway. Okay, great. Well, the next book is a Stephen King book. This is Mr. Mercedes. This is obviously a thriller, perhaps a little bit of a horror book. How do you feel about Stephen King books? Do you like Stephen King books? Or films? Have you seen? Okay, it. Okay. Well, obviously Stephen King is a very, literally a very good author. So many books. Have you read The Shining? It's popular. Carrie, Cujo, It, Misery. You know, the Dark Tower series. There's also Dreamcatcher, Insomnia, Gerald's Game. So many books, so many books. This is actually one of a relatively new one. It's 2014. Obviously some of Stephen King books are quite old. I think the first one's 80s or 70s. I'm not entirely sure. I think 70s is like the earliest one, but I may be wrong. So yeah, do you want me to read the back to you? Okay. Who is going to be the fish in this relationship, and who is going to be the fisherman? Bill Hodges, retired cop, tormented by the Mercedes massacre, a case he never solved. Brady Hartsfield, perpetrator of the notorious crime and preparing to kill again. Now each is closing in on the other in a mega stake race against time from worldwide bestseller Master of Suspense Stephen King. So yeah, this is Stephen King's The Mr. Mercedes. It's obviously going to be quite gory, I'd imagine, and quite in depth. So perhaps this is something that you would like to read. Is this more up your street? I thought so. Well, if you like, you can give this one a read. Okay, I thought this would be something. Yeah, I definitely thought this one. Okay, I know we do have so many books here though, so it can be quite hard to choose, but I will give you this one. You can have a little read or read a page, see if it's something you're into. Yeah, so there's that one for you. You're welcome. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. I've actually got one more book here if you would like me to show you it. Yeah, this is the classic book ever, Jurassic Park. This is a very old copy, but it is a classic. Have you seen the movie? Okay, well the book's even better. The book was written way before the movie, but this is one of Michael Crichton's best books. The first one's obviously the best one, but I'll read you the back. An astonishing technique for recovering and cloning dinosaur DNA has been discovered. Now one of mankind's most thrilling fantasies have come true. Creatures extinct for eons now roam Jurassic Park with their awesome presence and profound mystery, and all the world can visit them for a price. Until something goes wrong. Of course something goes wrong. This is my favourite book ever, I think. Actually, it's not my favourite book ever. I don't know now. This is probably like my favourite film is Jurassic Park, so that obviously I love the book, but yeah, it's probably my second favourite book. But this copy is my favourite copy because it's so old. It just looks really cool. So yeah, What do you think about Jurassic Park? It's quite different to Stephen King. Okay. Do you want me to read you a page? So I read you a random page. The thing is with this is that okay, I'll read this page. It's page 229. Okay. Jesus, Arnold said, snapping his fingers. There must be safety systems. Can't be turned off except the main panel. Well, Wu said, if Keychecks is active, you can trace what he did. I sure as hell can, Arnold said. He started to press buttons. Why hadn't he thought of it before? It was so obvious. The computer system at Jurassic Park had several tiers of safety systems built into it. One of them was Keycheck program, which monitored all the keystrokes entered by operators with access to the system. It was originally installed as a debugging device, but it was retained for its security value. In a moment, all the keystrokes that Nedry had entered into the computer earlier in the day were listed in a window on the screen. 13, 14, 121, 32, 88, 77, 19, 13, 122, 13, 44, 52, 77, 90, 13, 99, 13, 100, 13, 109, 55, 103, 144, 13, 99, 87, 60, 13, 44, 12, 09, 13, 43. System, Nedry, go to command level, Nedry, Mr. Goodbye, security, keycheck off, safety off, security. He was screwing around here for hours, it seemed like, probably just killing time, Wu said, until he finally decided to get down to it. So that was the part when they found out that Dennis Nedry, had a plan to steal some of the, oh my goodness, what are they called? Like the dinosaurs, not cells, the like pods that they're in, the DNA. As you can see though, the book is so well detailed, like just on this page here, it tells you like exactly what the computer would see. So this is when they like find out how many dinosaurs they've got. So Tyrannosaurs expected to found 2, and then there's like different ones where it's the compies expected 49, found 50, so that's when they know they are breeding. And yeah, that was the one, the compies. So yeah, that's when they find out, but it's so like detailed. Even these, like they've even shown you what the computer screen would look like. Like this book is just incredible. It's definitely a classic to definitely hold on to if you have one. So yeah, this is Jurassic Park. So what do you think? Okay, you want to read it? Sure. So you've got Jurassic Park and Stephen King. Great. Well, they are one of the books that I'm going to show you today. I know I've been talking for a very long time, so I apologise. But please have a little look around. We have so many books here, so many books. So yeah, take these two, have a little read, see if you like it. If you don't like it, it's fine, don't worry about it. And you'll probably find some more books over that way that you'll probably be into. So yeah, find a table, have a little read, and feel free, you can sit here for however long you like and read, or you can just simply take them out and read them at home in your own time. Oh, it's such a pleasure. You're welcome, I don't mind going through books. Okay, well, please come back and see me if you need anything, okay? Alright. Bye-bye.